Imagine cruising down the Tasman Highway, thinking everything's fine, when suddenly a camera hidden above the traffic lights flags your car, your phone buzzes with an instant fine, and before you even get home, your license is already one strike closer to suspension. Sounds unreal, right? But this is exactly what's about to happen across Tasmania in 2026. The new driving laws are bringing AI surveillance, digital licenses, and automatic penalties that will redefine how every Tasmanian drives. Whether you're a careful motorist or someone who likes to push the limits, these changes will affect you, and ignoring them could cost you thousands in fines or even your license. Stay tuned, because this isn't just another law update. It's the biggest shakeup in Tasmanian driving history. Let's start with what's actually happening. In 2026, Tasmania will officially roll out a sweeping set of driving law reforms aimed at modernizing the road network and making it safer through technology. The changes focus heavily on three main areas: introducing a fully digital driver's license system, deploying AI-powered traffic cameras that can detect a range of illegal or dangerous behaviors, and overhauling the fine and demerit system to make penalties tougher and enforcement more consistent. The idea is to make Tasmanian roads not only safer, but also more efficient by removing outdated systems and replacing them with real-time, data-driven solutions. For drivers, the first big change you'll notice is the introduction of the digital driver's license. This new digital ID will replace your plastic license card as your primary proof of identity on the road. You'll still be able to keep your physical card if you want, but the government's long-term goal is to move most drivers onto the digital platform. The digital license will be stored securely on your smartphone through a new government app managed by the Department of State Growth. This app will link directly to a live database that updates your details instantly, meaning if you renew your license, gain demerit points, or even face suspension, the change will appear immediately on your digital record. No more waiting for letters in the mail or calling Service Tasmania to confirm your status. This digital system will also make roadside checks faster. Police officers and authorized officials will be able to scan your license on the spot using their devices, instantly verifying your identity and your license's validity. It's faster, more accurate, and far more secure than the old method. It also reduces the risk of fraudulent or fake licenses, which have been a growing issue in recent years. For everyday drivers, it means more convenience, but it also means more accountability, because the system will now have real-time access to your driving record, your vehicle registration, and your outstanding fines all in one place. The next major change is the rollout of AI-powered enforcement systems across Tasmania. This is one of the biggest technological shifts in Australian road law history. The state government is investing in high-resolution, artificially intelligent cameras that don't just detect speeding. They can also identify when drivers are using mobile phones, not wearing seatbelts, tailgating, or driving aggressively. These smart cameras are capable of analyzing driving patterns, recognizing unsafe behaviors, and automatically capturing evidence that can be reviewed by authorities. They will be placed strategically across major highways, intersections, and urban areas where violations and crashes are most common. The goal of this system is to help Tasmania achieve its Vision Zero target, a long-term plan to eliminate serious road injuries and fatalities. In recent years, the number of crashes caused by distraction and mobile phone use has been steadily increasing, and traditional enforcement hasn't been enough to catch offenders consistently. These AI cameras close that gap by running 24/7 and detecting violations in real time without relying solely on police presence. It's an ambitious step that has already shown results in other states, but it also comes with strong debate about privacy and fairness. Some drivers worry that AI enforcement may cross into over-surveillance territory, recording more data than necessary and tracking behavior too closely. The government has responded by assuring the public that all data will be encrypted, stored securely, and deleted once cases are processed. Officials insist that the focus is strictly on road safety, not surveillance, and that these systems are designed to save lives, not invade privacy. But there's no denying that Tasmania's roads are about to become some of the most closely monitored in the country. Now let's talk about penalties, because this is where the impact will really be felt. The 2026 driving laws include a complete overhaul of the fine structure and demerit system. Offenses that used to carry small fines or minor penalties will now come with tougher consequences, Using your phone while driving, even if you're stopped at traffic lights, will now attract a significantly higher fine and more demerit points. Seatbelt violations will also be treated more seriously, with penalties increasing for both drivers and passengers who fail to buckle up. Speeding offenses are being reclassified too. Minor speeding may still result in warnings or small fines, but once you go beyond 25 kilometers per hour over the limit, you'll face much steeper penalties. License suspension periods will also become longer for repeat offenders. The government says this is necessary to curb high-risk behavior and deter repeat violations. Another major change is the new demerit point threshold. Under the 2026 laws, accumulating just 10 demerit points in a 12-month period could trigger an automatic license suspension. That's a big drop from the current system, which gives drivers more room before penalties escalate. Authorities believe the tighter threshold will create a stronger deterrent and encourage safer, more cautious driving. For drivers who continue to offend, the reforms introduce new mandatory monitoring systems. Repeat dangerous drivers, those caught speeding excessively, driving under the influence, or engaging in reckless behavior, could be required to install a black box-style device in their vehicle. This device tracks driving patterns like speed, acceleration, and braking, and reports the data back to authorities over a set period. Think of it like a digital probation. Your driving is monitored until you prove you can drive responsibly again. Learner and provisional drivers are also facing new challenges under these reforms. For learners, the required number of supervised driving hours will increase from 80 to 120 before you can even book a driving test. This change is meant to ensure new drivers gain more experience in different road and weather conditions before they drive solo. For provisional drivers, the zero alcohol policy will remain in full force, but the penalties for breaking it are getting much tougher. Even a very low blood alcohol reading could result in an immediate license cancellation, a 12-month driving ban, and mandatory participation in re-education or rehabilitation programs before reapplying. There's also a new restricted vehicle list coming into effect, which will limit what types of cars young or inexperienced drivers can operate. High-powered and performance vehicles will be off-limits for provisional drivers to help reduce the number of high-speed accidents involving young people. It's a change based on strong evidence. Most serious crashes among new drivers involve excessive speed or powerful cars that are harder to control. Now, let's look at how all of this will be introduced. The rollout is being planned in stages. The Tasmanian government will begin pilot testing of digital driver's licenses in Hobart and Launceston during the second half of 2025. This test phase will allow officials to fine-tune the app, iron out technical issues, and train law enforcement officers on the new verification process. AI enforcement cameras will also begin trials around major highways and key intersections around the same time. By early 2026, the full system will start expanding statewide, with all drivers being invited to download the digital license app and verify their identity. You won't need to reapply for a new license. The transition will happen automatically. However, you will need to make sure your contact information is correct with Service Tasmania. That means checking your phone number, email address, and mailing details to ensure you don't miss any rollout notifications. If your contact details are outdated, you might not receive your activation link, which could delay your access to your digital license. The government is also preparing educational campaigns and training workshops to help older Tasmanians adapt to the new digital system. For anyone who doesn't have a smartphone or prefers not to use one, physical licenses will remain valid. Officials have made it clear that no one will be forced to go digital immediately, but over time, the digital system will become the preferred method of license management. So why is Tasmania making these changes now? The answer lies in the data. Road trauma, serious injuries, and fatal crashes have been rising again after years of steady decline. Despite tougher drink driving rules and public awareness campaigns, incidents caused by distraction, speed, and fatigue have become a major problem. The new laws are designed to use modern technology to fill the gaps traditional enforcement can't always cover. The goal is to create an environment where dangerous driving is caught immediately and responsible driving is rewarded with smoother, faster, and more convenient services. For everyday drivers who already follow the rules, these updates actually bring some benefits. Digital licenses mean faster renewals, fewer queues, and instant access to your records. You'll also have your ID with you anywhere you go. As long as your phone is in your pocket, it'll make roadside checks, vehicle registration updates, and even ID verification at airports or clubs simpler and faster. But for those who cut corners or drive recklessly, it'll be a much tougher environment. The new systems won't just rely on luck or chance to catch you. The AI cameras and data integration will make it almost impossible to get away with repeated violations. Of course, these changes aren't without controversy. Some people argue that relying too much on technology could lead to unfair fines or mistakes in detection. Others worry that collecting so much driver data could create privacy risks. The government maintains that all information collected will be anonymized and stored securely, used strictly for enforcement, and deleted after review. Privacy safeguards will be reviewed annually to ensure the system remains fair and compliant with national standards. The truth is, this transition represents a big cultural shift. Driving in Tasmania is about to become more transparent, more accountable, and much more connected than before. It's not just about punishing bad behavior. It's about creating a road environment where safety, responsibility, and awareness are constant priorities. So what can you do right now to prepare for the 2026 Tasmania driving laws? First, make sure your Service Tasmania account is up to date. Confirm your contact information and keep an eye on official announcements about the digital license rollout. When the app becomes available, download it early and complete your identity verification. Familiarize yourself with the new system before it becomes mandatory. Next, stay informed about enforcement updates in your area, especially if AI cameras start being installed on your regular routes. And most importantly, drive safely and follow the rules, because once these systems go live, risky or careless behavior will be caught automatically. In the end, Tasmania's 2026 driving reforms represent one of the biggest safety-driven transformations in Australian road history. They combine technology, data, and stricter accountability to make the roads safer for everyone. Whether you think it's too much oversight or a necessary step forward, one thing is certain. These changes are coming, and they will affect every driver on the road. The best thing you can do is stay informed, stay responsible, and adapt early. If you found this video helpful, make sure you hit the like button. It really helps the channel reach more people. Subscribe if you haven't already and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on new Australian laws, Centrelink changes, or government reforms that could impact your life. Let me know in the comments what you think about these new 2026 Tasmanian driving laws. Do they make the road safer, or is it just too much control? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, drive safe, stay alert, and I'll see you in the next video.